how you all doing? Now, I'll put some captions up here and some links and you've all watched the car crash of golf, as I like to call it, this Saudi Super League thing. It's apologies, voice still not back to normal. COVID day 7. Outstanding, I'll tell you. It's like, honestly, anyway, back to what we're talking about. Triple jab, by the way, thankfully. That's all I can say, because this is, it's no good. But anyway, Saudi Super League. Biggest car crash of golf ever. It's all come tumbling down. It's like the game where you, Kerplunk, where you pull the little straws out one by one, right? But then Phil Mickelson just went, oh well, so this. It's like every single marble's flown everywhere. And you've got all the players calling out Saudi about human rights issues, violations, blood money. You've got every accusation under the sun coming in about this Super League, and like Phil's like going on some sort of almost like crazy bipolar rant statement about the whole thing, and then try to, well, shut up and say nothing. Phil is not bipolar, and sorry if anyone out there is bipolar, because it was maybe terminology I should have rephrased better there. But it's to give you the shock factor, the awe factor of what Phil actually came out with. Now, this is sending ripples all the way through the golf community, because this was going to be the Super League equivalent or face-off between the PGA Tour and all the players and such like, you know the ones I'm talking about, 15 houses, 15 Ferraris, private jets, the ones that just live like any normal person out there. You know the ones, yeah, just pop out to the shops for a milk, that type of thing. They've all lost touch with reality. Basically, they've got themselves in a corner and they're all trying to say, we're going after the money too much, we're a wee bit greedy, maybe a wee bit like detached from reality about what's going on in the rest of the world. Sure, sportsmen have always been well paid, but when they start to really make that the essence of it all, 100 million. It was figures like 100 million, 150 million. It was like, no, 200 million. It was like, it just made it a laughing stock. And then you had like poor Ian Poulter and that getting bandied about with 34 million. I mean, how does he feel? Because he's really scrimping for cash now. But it shows you how bananas this whole thing got. And like it's been watching this thing evolve and then just crumble into like complete chaos and dust. And then from one minute, every player saying they've signed NDAs and can't talk about this, can't talk about that, to virtually every player saying, well, I wasn't going to play in it anyway. Then you've got DeChambeau coming out saying, well, I'll play where all the good players play, because, so in other words, I think he was, you could lean that way anyway, that he was, he was certainly getting offered 150 million plus. But the game of golf is never, like we talked earlier in videos, it's not meant to be money. It's meant to be something that money can't buy, which it is. Trophies, history, following in the footsteps of the greats that played the game. This is something that money cannot buy. It's a legacy, a history, the hold on history. When you touch and hold that claret jug and you raise that up there, you're never going to get that in a Super League, are you? But it shows now with how in-depth and embroiled loads of other people are. Like Rick Shields, James Robinson, Peter Finch. The list is endless. If you check out on Performance 54's website, Saudi Arabia, promotion of golf, apparently, the backing of the Saudi government involved with it, big loads of money getting pumped into Saudi-backed sport to promote and push all these, well, in this case, it's golf YouTubers up to the forefront and the best and biggest golf YouTubers in the world ever. They weren't before they actually went with Performance 54, but since they have gone with them, there's been masses and masses of, fantastic new content, because of course they've got a management group that deals with all the other sportsmen of the world. So you've got the likes of Tommy Fleetwood, you've got the likes of all these big names, Ian Poulter, that type of guy, who suddenly gets a wee call saying, can you go and film a video with, and then they put them together, they put the video out. That's how it works. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. It's contractual, but whatever. We all get a share in it. And but they're all getting found out now, because when you click on Performance 54's website, you can basically read the entire history of the place. They hide nothing. They have partnership deals with Golf England, Titleist. I mean, all these big manufacturers now, with the fallout of the Saudi Super League and the whole exposure to the whole thing, like I say, you will see folk diving left and right for cover all over the place. You will also see folk sitting on the fence, not talking about this, knowing that if they do, they're going to drop themselves right in it. Meanwhile, 90% of us who are, let's just say, not really interested or walk about with blinkers on all the time aren't really bothered. So they're just hoping that the 10% of us that know about this don't expose it any further, therefore limiting the damage. It's all about damage limitation at this point. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, we've been talking about what really matters, which is helping others. And the channel is all for charity. Macmillan, Help the Heroes and Shelter UK, that's where all the ad revenue goes. So some extra subs would be beneficial, and a share, like, that type of thing definitely helps the charities. Thanks for watching. What can I say? Don't stop believing. Keep yourself looking into things. Never look at face value at nothing. Always dig. And eventually, you'll be happy with what you find, or you'll be like, oof, never knew that. It's pretty shocking. Comment below. What one of the two do you think about when you've been seeing all this unfolding in golf, and then sort of like getting dropped like a wet fish on a floor?